Hello, I'm Sebastian Richardson, also known as Bam Bam. I live in a place called Shreveport, Louisiana, where I was born and raised, and I was also raised in an area named The Bottom. The Bottom was a red light district, and it had a club on almost two clubs on almost every corner. It was one of the only red light districts in Shreveport, Louisiana, that was populated with bars, illicit drugs, and a lot of other prostitution and all types of things because the politicians that be at the time seemed better fit to turn a blind eye to it in that poor urban area for the illicit behavior to take place so that it didn't ruin the whole Shreveport, Louisiana. So I became a product of that. My father got killed when I was 3 years old, and that had a profound effect on me. So I let the negativity took a strong hold on me, and it was actually an oxymoron to be living in such a illicit negative environment and be sent to private school, and that affected my growth. It caused me to be angry at times that other people were living way above the poverty line, and I was around them every day. And then I come back home, but I still find the poverty all around me, and people doing the best they can with what little they have. And I've seen the out in being part of it opposed to being against it because there was no other avenues open for us at that particular time, and people in that particular neighborhood was not exposed to positive things in which you could actually make a living out of.
I remember when Bam was born, we called him Deary for a long time. And as he grew up, he began to beat on things and beat on the furniture. So we started calling him Bam Bam after the little boy on the Flintstones. There was a little guy on the Flintstones that had the little club. And that was where we termed Bam Bam from with that because he liked beating on things as well.
I guess you could say I've been exposed to violence since I was a baby. I mean, you hear the gunshots, you hear people getting shot out there, and especially on the weekends. You hear people out there shooting and running and hollering and screaming. And then again, at 3 years old, when the lady come knock on the door, beating and screaming that my father had been killed, had been shot in the back of the head in his car. So I mean, that's an early exposure. But at the time, I probably was uh, uh, t- actually participated or actually was 8 years old when a friend of mine, an old head named Slim, who used to take me around with him and everything like that. Him and the guy were chasing each other around his truck. They said it was over a lady. They were chasing each other around the truck, and as they were running around circles of truck, the guy stopped, and Slim kept running, and the dude turned around and shot him and blew half of his head off, and he laid there bleeding, and they had so much blood they had to get the fire department to clean up the street. And then I seen my old head, another old head of mine's AJ. Guy called him the wrong thing. He jumped the fence, came over, stepped over to the guy, put the gun against his head, and I'm sitting there looking at all of it and shot him in the head. The guy lived. I walked up on Preacher's body. They had me, I went and seen Preacher's body. I came by his house looking for him, and he was in the house dead. Couldn't have been no more than 8 or 9 at that time. I seen an old head of mine used to take me around a lot. I seen him shoot a dude for calling him the wrong thing, and I mean I seen a homeboy of mine. He wasn't much older than me at the time. I guess if I was 8 or 9, he had to be about 16. And I watched him jump up in the crowd, and I mean actually jumping over the crowd, shot a dude and shot him until he unloaded the gun and killed him. So then I seen at 13, I remember 12 or 13, my auntie, her and her old man got into it, and he tried to grab the gun and he tried to shoot her and everything. So she ended up shooting him, and when she ran from their house up to my house with my mom, and she ran up there and told mama that he had been shot. And so my mama sent me down there to see was he all right. So when I go down there, he was laying across the bed dead. I probably seen at the time between being 8 years old to probably 15, 16, I seen at least eight, 9 dead bodies of murder. So it was just, I mean, that's the life. That was the life of being in the bottom. I mean, it was a hell of a red light district, and there was always something going on. You either had to stand up, be able to protect what you had. The violence was necessary because you had to either protect what you had to keep somebody from taking it, or protect what you love. And so therefore you had to learn, you had to make the decision, which one of these things gonna be pliable to my future. You know what I'm saying? Do I go with being violent, or do I go with losing whatever I got? Because if you can't protect what you got, or you can't keep what you got down there, somebody was gonna try to take it.